Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. We gotta talk about it. It's obvious that the animation and just the art is awesome, incredible. It looks even better on a big screen. So we're not gonna harp on that because it's good. We know that. It starts off with Himejima, the stone Hashira, visited the grave of the master Ibuyashiki. I feel like I added too many syllables, but you know. ah! There's a little recap of what happened, like their whole master plan to get Muzan weakened and the best chance for them to survive and just beat him. So basically, Ibuyashiki, sacrificed himself and his family to the bomb and all that. But yeah, you should have watched it. You should know what that was. But anyway, let's go ahead and just break down these fights. First, we had Doma, upper two, versus Shinobu, the insect, and Hashira. Unfortunately, she died. It wasn't that surprising to me, considering how we saw the fight go on. She usually uses poison to defeat her demon enemies. But with this one, he kept on adapting and just neutralizing the toxins, so it didn't really last long. And she, however, is too short and not strong enough to defeat the demons the regular way, which is chopping off their heads and, decapitating them. I don't know if it's because he was an upper rank or maybe the kind of demon he is himself, because maybe her poison could have worked on other upper ranks, or maybe she was just a bad matchup for him. I don't know. We'll never know. All we know is she died, and he's living, still breathing. And what's even sadder is that this was the demon that killed her older sister. Plus, she drew, now we're talking about Shinobu. She drew her last breath right in front of Kanao, her last Sugoku. I think that's what that is. I'll look it up later. Moving on to my second favorite battle of the movie, Zenitsu versus Kaigaku? I don't know. We have confirmation on what was in that letter that Zenitsu was reading or looking at, like in the last two episodes, or maybe it was the last one. I don't know. Can't remember exactly, but you know what I'm talking about. Apparently, his master died alone. There's a certain term they use, but I can't remember right now. But it was basically he killed himself after learning that one of his co-successors turned into a demon. What was interesting was when we go back to the moment Kaigaku decides to turn into a demon, like he got the demon blood right there in his hands, ready to drink up. Muzan wasn't there, but it was the upper one right now, Kokushibo. That can't be right. But the guy with all the eyes, 6 eyes, he lets us know that it's harder to turn into a demon when you're a breathing style technique user. So, anyway, back to Zenitsu's past. His master wanted him and Kaigaku to be co-successors of thunder breathing. Now, Kaigaku, he can use all the forms except the first form, while Zenitsu can only use the first form and not the other ones. But eventually, he does defeat him, but he does it by using a form he created all on his own. It was like a dragon or something, but it was really cool. Gotta see for yourself. But, however, it could have been a completely different situation. That's what they said. I don't know what character said this, but if Kaigaku had more time to really master his techniques while being a demon, it could have been a whole different situation. He probably would have been dead. So lucky for us, he's good. Now, anyway, let's talk about my favorite fight. Probably everyone's favorite fight, maybe. Akaza versus Giyu and Tanjiro. I loved Akaza when I first met him in the Mugen Train. I mean, just look at his character design and the way he fights, just throwing hands. It's entertaining, so good. Incredible. And now we finally get his backstory. He grew up stealing, but it was for a good cause. It was for his sickly father. Eventually, we learn how he got those marks, or I guess what inspired his design demon form. The marks of a criminal. The marks of a criminal. So, could you see how it's all over him? Anyway, it didn't matter how many times he got beaten. It was all for his dad. However, that made his dad think that him taking care of him, dad, stay with me, was too much of a burden on him. So he eventually, once again, he killed himself. Later on, we meet Keizo, Channing Tatum's character, and Dub Watchers. Tell me, who do you like better voicing a character, Channing Tatum or J Balvin, when he was doing something for Solo Leveling? Comment down below. Anyway, I gotta know. Keizo's dojo was where he learned how to fight and all this training that he got, you know? Because I originally thought he was like a pro fighter or something. MMA, who knows? But nope. And he was always talking about fighting spirit. But when you watch the movie, you'll still see what that fighting spirit is about. I'm not going to talk about it because I can't remember right now and the whole thing about it. Anyway. Plus, we meet Koyuki, Keizo's daughter. She was pretty sickly as well, but Akaza was used to taking care of his father, so that was no big deal to him. And fast forward to, they do end up being engaged, but here's where tragedy strikes again. The other villagers or somebody, they poison the water, so now Keizo and Koyuki are dead. Now he's sad again. Akaza keeps losing people in his life, so it takes him really down the path. He starts going on a rampage and killing everybody just with his bare hands, and just brain matter and just guts and everywhere on the walls, the ceilings. The way he said it, or not him, it's particularly a character. You gotta watch the movie. But anyway, this eventually leads to him meeting Muzan, because Muzan heard a demon was on the loose. But no, they were just talking about Akaza with his fists. And that's where we end that. That backstory was very sad. I did tear up, but so far, the one back in season 2, where Entertainment District arc, the brother and sister duo, Daki and Gerotaro, their backstory was the saddest to me. That made me really sob. But anyway, tell me your favorite, or I guess saddest backstory? I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. But I do want to touch on the Ubuyashiki family, the master. I don't know, maybe I missed it. Did you guys miss it? Or remember of just exactly how many children he had? Because when we see these 3 little kids that are helping us with Yuichiro, the eye that he uses to look around and just see what's going on through the crows, that was very interesting. It's like, more kids? Like, because they look alike, and I know how they look. I don't know. I guess he spared some children from being sacrificed because we still need help. But anyway, that was just shocking to me. I didn't know he had more kids. But now, let us talk about, or at least I want to predict what we're going to see, like the matchups for the next next movie, which is going to be like 2 years. Ugh, so sad. But anyway, yeah. My prediction is going to be for the upper one. I feel like Sanemi the Wind Hashira. He might have a crack at him, but unfortunately, since he is upper rank, the first one, you're gonna need some help, buddy, even though he probably doesn't want that. I feel like he might have a brother, because barely got Genya in that movie. Because I feel like they're gonna team up and just hash it out and just be nice brothers again. But also, I feel like that's not going to be enough either. So I also think we'll have a visit with Iguro and Mitsuri, the Love Hashira and the Serpent Hashira. Because I feel like the Serpent Hashira and Wind Hashira, they're cool with each other, and they fought with each other in the first episode. The very long episode of season 3, I believe, or was that season 4? I don't remember, but you know what I'm talking about. And then we still have Doma on the loose. I have no idea if Kanao is gonna survive. I don't know, but hopefully someone will get there in time. My guess is Stone Hashira and Mist Hashira, Tokito and you know what? I can't remember right now. But yeah, I think that would be the team up. I can't think of anything else. But yeah, maybe you'll be focusing on those 2 major battles. Will it be as long as this movie? Because this movie was like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Maybe it'll be shorter. I don't know. Just 2 hours? Who knows? But those are my predictions. Tell me your thoughts. Unless you read the manga, then don't. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. But anyway, hopefully, I really hope you guys will watch this movie in theaters. It's such an experience. It's so fun. I would watch it again in theaters as well. Ugh. And I can't wait to own it on DVD. Even though it's going to be months and months away. Just like people that are waiting to react to it. Oof. They have a long wait. But anyway, comment down below. Tell me your favorite moments in this movie, the first installment of Infinity Castle, and who you're excited to see in the next one. All your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Michaela. I will see you later. Bye.